How you guys doing? It's Dr. YouTube. Timothy Tucker, how you doing? Hey, there's proof now of the afterlife. They got recordings, and but I just wanted to throw this real quick to you guys. All right?
After endless fake ghost TV shows, here at last is a documentary that presents the real evidence.
Manu, are you there? Yes. Hello.
The experiments featured in this program have been described by the scientists who witnessed them as some of the best evidence for life after death ever.
We had 1,000 hours of continuous communication with the spirit world. Big one. Three.
For 5 years, the Skull experiment continued to produce a vast range of extraordinary phenomena. More than in any other experiment in the history of the paranormal. It was witnessed by hundreds of visitors and monitored by a team of internationally renowned scientists and investigators.
I must stress it changes your paradigm.
What they claim to have seen and recorded is so shocking that many will find it unbelievable.
The table levitated and began to spin very rapidly.
I'm not at all convinced that there is such a thing as life after death.
In the US, we put psychic Alison Dubois, the inspiration behind the hit TV show Medium, to the test. Could she communicate with one of the leading Skull researchers after his tragic death?
Is there a doctor in the house?
And we meet this woman.
This never be necessary to do.
She says she can pick up the voice of her dead son on this simple tape recorder. We also followed the Skull group to Italy, where they conducted seances with Marcello Bacci, one of the world's most unusual mediums. For decades, grieving parents say they can talk to their dead children via his radio. Although the experiments featured in this program provide scientific evidence for the possibility of life after death, most of the public know nothing about them. This is the first time both the Skull Group and Bacci have allowed their work to be shown together in a TV documentary.
There has, in my view, never been anything like that at all, ever.
In the mid-1990s, in the tiny English village of Skull, one of the most remarkable experiments ever attempted in communication with the dead took place in the cellar of this house. The Skull experimental group who conducted these experiments consisted of Diana and Alan Bennett, two of Britain's most accomplished mediums, as well as organisers and investigators Robin and Sandra Foy.
Hi, hello there.
Nice to see you.
For 5 years, twice a week, the group would meet in this tiny cellar. Here the Bennetts would go into trance, allowing what they say were the voices of the dead to speak through them.
Yes, we
So what do you guys think? Huh?
Hello.
We're 4 minutes into it. What do you think? Leave a comment.
But the Skull group went far beyond this, achieving spectacular results in a claimed form of spirit communication known as physical mediumship.
There's a wide range of phenomena that physical mediumship over the centuries has been supposedly able to produce. Objects levitating, chairs, tables, objects in the room, apports, and teleportation. In other words, things just dropping out of nowhere. Sometimes things disappearing and reappearing. Apparent spirit hands, apparent spirit forms. Things that people can see happening. There's an effect on real objective things based on supposedly the communication or contact between a medium and the spirit world. The spirits
Are they
are
demons?
intermediate
I think they're
and
demons,
competent
guys.
To cause these events to happen.
Physical mediumship is entirely different from mental mediumship because everybody that's present at the time can witness what's happening. Such as if a voice comes from mid-air, everybody can hear and converse with a voice.
Very nice of you to have us here.
If a spirit person manifests, everybody can see what happens.
I think it's fair to say that when you have sittings with physical groups as successful as the Skull Group, you will see miracles. You see things which cannot be explained under normal laws of science.
Demons?
Trying to communicate with the dead has been a lifelong passion for Robin and Sandra Foy. Today, they are among the world's leading experts in physical mediumship.
That's a
What
group
happened
score.
here during the skull experiment was very successful and a dramatic effort, which proved conclusively to us and that life goes on after we all die.
Diana and Alan Bennett have also participated in physical mediumship for decades. They joined the skull experiment in 1993. But both claim their astonishing abilities began long before this.
My first discovery of being a medium was when I was a child. I used to see spirit, I used to hear things and be aware of things that other people weren't aware.
When I was young, I saw spirits. Spirits that would come and show themselves to me.
I think the greatest effort comes from the spirit side. I mean, without them, you can sit there and nothing will happen.
But a great deal did happen, more in fact than any other mediumship experiment ever conducted. And according to the Skull Group, their success was due to the efforts of a group of deceased personalities on the other side. They called this group the Spirit Team.
A spirit team was a team of spirit personalities who had lived a life on this earth. Several of them had been scientists whilst they were here.
The Skull Group say instructions on how to conduct the experiments were received from the Spirit Team, speaking via the mediums.
If you put your hand into the bowl, please.
Some of the initial experiments involved photography. These began conventionally enough, with the Foys being told to load a film into a camera and place it on the table. But after this, things began to get very strange.
We heard the camera moving round over our heads, and clicking and being wound on by spirit.
In total darkness, so that in reality, nothing should have showed up on the film. But when the film was developed, there were amazing pictures. Wartime pictures of St. Paul's, of a bus that was blown apart in the Blitz. Quite amazing stuff. It was never explained to us exactly why we got these particular pictures, other than the fact that we had a separate photographic spirit team working with us at that stage, who were practicing their art and seeing what they could achieve.
Some films contained images of faces, including human faces, in various stages of formation.
There were a series that appeared to represent bubbles and various other things coming together, partial faces, etc. We were told that what we were seeing were areas of communication within the spirit world.
The Skull Group believed these faces were images of deceased people, which were somehow projected from the other side. To them, this theory was confirmed with the appearance on another Skull film of this blurry profile.
What do you guys think, huh?
Communicators through the mediums...
Well, I'm going to cut it short here, guys. You can find this under Scores Experiment, all right, guys? Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to theirs. So what do you guys think? Are they speaking to demons, or are they actually people that have died and went to the other side? Or what's your opinions on this? I'd like to know. I appreciate you guys' time. Thank you. Dr. YouTube. Later, guys.
not only in total